Now let's look at creating volume. We can do this with the push-pull tool. Say we wanted this rectangle to be our floor plane, and we want to give it a thickness of 10 inches. First, activate the push-pull tool by selecting it from the toolbar or by tapping the shortcut P for push-pull. Then, click on the face of the rectangle and drag the rectangle out. Then, without clicking anything else, just type in the dimension, 10, for 10 inches. Then, press Enter. We now have a floor plane with a thickness of 10 inches. You can then clear the push-pull tool by tapping spacebar. Now let's look at creating a wall at the edge of this floor plane. There are a few ways of doing this. One way is to draw a rectangle on the upper face of the floor and pull it up with the push-pull tool. So tap R for rectangle. Hover the cursor over the corner of the floor till it snaps to the corner and indicates a green spot on the cursor. Then, click and drag a rectangle across the space till it hits the opposite wall, and you have a rectangle in the rough position you want your wall. Then, look at the dimensions in the measurements box. We know that 10 feet is the correct dimension as the width of the space is already established. It's the shorter dimension that need adjustment. Say we had a wall thickness of 8 inches. When we type in the dimensions, we want to keep them in the same order. In this instance, the 10-foot dimension comes last, so we want to keep it last. If we typed in the dimensions the other way around and pressed Enter, the rectangle ends up in the wrong place. But we can easily correct it so long as the tool hasn't been cleared. If we can still see dimensions in the measurements box, we can change the dimensions as many times as we want by typing them in and pressing Enter. So let's type in the dimensions again the right way round and press Enter. Then finalize the dimensions by clearing the tool by tapping spacebar. Once that's done, you can see that the face of the floor is now split into two surfaces. I can now create the wall by tapping P for push-pull. Then click and drag the wall upward. Say we had a wall height of 8 feet. I am going to type in 8 feet or 96 for 96 inches and tap Enter. Equally, so long as the push-pull tool is active and I can still see a dimension in the measurements box, we can change the dimension as many times as we want by typing it in and pressing Enter. So say I made a mistake and the wall height is actually 10 feet. I could just type in 10 feet or 120 for 120 inches and tap Enter. Then I can finalize that dimension by clearing the tool, by tapping spacebar. Okay, let's take a look at creating openings in walls and floors. The simplest way is to draw a rectangle on the surface and using the push-pull tool to punch out a hole. Say I need to create a door opening. I can start by selecting the rectangle tool with the shortcut R for rectangle. Then draw a rectangle on the surface of the wall by clicking where you want to start the rectangle and then start dragging across the surface of the wall. Then type in the dimensions of the opening, 80, 36, and tap Enter. Okay, see how the dimensions are the wrong way round. This is easily fixed. Before clearing the rectangle tool, just type in the dimensions the other way around, 36, 80, and tap Enter. Now I need to use the push-pull tool to create the opening. As we were saying previously, it's good practice to clear the tool once you've finished with it by pressing spacebar. In this instance, we are using another tool straight after, so we don't need to clear the rectangle tool. We can just tap P for push-pull. This will automatically clear the tool you were using previously. Once the push-pull tool is activated, we can start pushing the rectangle through the wall. In most cases, it will snap to the other face of the wall and create a void or opening in the wall. Sometimes you can push it too far beyond the wall. We will show how to deal with that in tutorials on inferencing.